And I'm live. Hello, hello. Goodness, I'm going to give it a few minutes. So I had set it up for 3:33. I kind of like that, but I didn't realize that StreamYard would not allow me to have choose anything other than the top or bottom of the hour. So just going to kind of sit here and make sure that everybody hops in when they're ready and that I'm showing up so I can keep an eye on your comments. I really would love to be able to show up. I'm going to be very good about being here in the Mystic Magnetic every Monday afternoon. And the reason for that is I want to share with you some of the things that I've experienced through my last 36 years of being professionally in the spiritual world, so to speak, and being in alignment with that. And I had done a post here this last week about what you wanted to hear most about connecting with your own psychic abilities, with your higher self, with your soul. And I'd like to talk about a lot of those and be able to share some actionable things with you as time goes on. So please bring questions, pepper me with them. I love that. I love to have a communication going back and forth. Please don't ever fear reaching out to me and just asking questions. So this week, what I want to start off with is some of the myths around the law of attraction. Okay, and I called this the mystic magnetic because it is about being magnetic. Okay, and being a mystic obviously has to do with our psychic abilities and connecting with all of those bits of ourselves that are a whole lot more than just the physicality that we're all seeing day in and day out. So, as I get started, what I'd like to do is to remind everyone that we each create every bit. We are responsible for all of it, all of your reality. You create it, nobody else does. And we either create by actively creating or by allowing in our world. And, we come in with a finite set, a blueprint, so to speak, that's in our DNA. It is a part of who we are. And then there are reasons for every bit of that. Some of those are lessons, some of those are things that we've contracted in to change and to heal and to do things with. There's generally a pretty big purpose with it. So if you're watching this, please say hello, comment. If you're hitting me on the replay, hit hashtag replay down there. Let me know that you're here and let me know what you want to hear about consciously creating reality, about being a mystic, about being in the law of attraction, so to speak. There's a lot of myths out there, and there's a lot of half truths, and a lot of people who are really good at leading people down that blind alley without all of the tools necessary to get you where you want to be. And I want to see you get there. I want to see you expanding and exploding into this beautiful world that we are all now creating. I truly believe that this world just took a huge shift. The past 5 years, really, we've been making a huge shift, and it's just really changed a lot for most of us. And what I want you to do is to be able to have your power to create what you want in that new world. All of the rules just changed. The things that you're used to having work in your life aren't going to work anymore. Things have to shift up. And if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be someone who is in the leading part of your field, whatever that is, you want to know how to do that and how to do it well, and then have your input in this new world. The new rules are being made, and you want to be a part of that. So learn now all of the basics of how to do that. And that's what I'm on a mission to do. So for today, we're going to talk about some law of attraction myths. One of the biggest ones, and I say this often, especially over on TikTok, is the fact that many people want you to just sit back, and if you'll do some breathing and align your energy and all the and all the wonderful things, those work to a point, but they don't work very well for someone who hasn't done the inner work first. What it's going to set you up for is frustration. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with this law of attraction stuff? It doesn't really work. Manifesting is just hogwash. Why would it stop and take a minute and realize that if you are working with a set of tools that are dull, broken, misplaced, you're not going to build much of anything at all. So, what you want to do is to start building with new tools. If you don't have them, get them. Clean the tools that you have up. all of your raw materials, your thoughts and your feelings, your choices, your beliefs, all of that you need to be in control of and in charge of. I don't like the word control as much. I like dominion much better. But for right now, take control of it. Be the one to pull yourself back in so that you are in control of that. If you'll do that work first, then all of the whatever you choose, whether it's law of attraction, there are a million different ways to go about it. There are rituals, there are things that you can do. Pure prayer work doesn't matter. You choose what is going to work for you. But if you have the basis set, then it's going to start working. I promise you it will. It seems like going uphill for a little while, excuse me, when you're trying to work on belief structures and all this stuff. But once you get a hang of it and it starts to set in, it's amazing. It's beautiful, beautiful work that you can do. So what I want to talk about with this on connecting with your psychic abilities, and that seemed to be the one that everybody really wanted. What is it like to be psychic? What it means to me and the way that I feel about it is that I can have input from outside of myself with what is most likely to happen. That's the predictive part of being able to see. And I also know full well that all possibilities are happening. So I get to be able to experience where you're at and see all the probabilities that are close enough to you that you may line up with. And then hopefully you'll be able to work with me enough that we can shift you in whatever needs to be so that you're landing in there. See, the law of attraction is at work here. Okay. That law of you're going to attract to you what is meant for you. And you're going to repel the things that are not meant for you. They're meant for someone else. But if you are not already in line with yourself, it is going to fall completely short. So it's not so much about healing. It's not so much about changing as it is getting your own inner work done so that you are completely in alignment with that already proven DNA that you came in with. So that exactly what's meant for you comes to you. Exactly what's meant to repel goes away. There's a trick to it. There are techniques. There's all sorts of things that you can use. You need to choose what works best for you and then stay on it. It's a practice that we do daily. You work with it, you take responsibility for it. So being psychic is being able to sit myself in enough alignment that I'm with my soul enough to be able to see, I can hear and sense inside of me where it is best for you to get where you're wanting to go, where I can hear from you that this is what you want to do. This is what you're trying to manifest. This is what you're trying to create, or what's going to happen next week. Everything's happening next week. What do you want to put your focus on? So being psychic is learning to tune into those inputs inside of you. I think everybody has the ability to be. Some are born with it. Some, I've been psychic my whole life. And so it's being able to untangle all of that is something that I love playing with. It's a little bit different for everybody, but being able to unhook the input that you're used to, the sight, the sound, the smells, and go more on an internal way to turn those on. That's a big part of becoming psychic. If that's something that you want to hear more about, please drop me the questions in. Let me know that you're listening, and we'll take that a step further. And you can ask me questions anytime, asking me questions. Okay, I will see you next week, Mondays, every Monday, and I'm on the East Coast, so it's Eastern Time, US, and that's at 3:33. So I will see you then. I hope this has helped some.